Good morning. My name is Theophilus Bush II, and I will be talking about the Volkswagen scandal and its environmental sustainability and how it had devices installed in the vehicles that would cause a disguise of the malfunctions to the vehicle. It was an ECM. How this device worked is it determined where the car would be driven. The factors that analyzing it would be the steering of the motor vehicle, the speed of the motor vehicle, and the engine duration, and also the barometric pressure and the mode of the vehicles being tested would switch to a dynamic calibration, which will result in the EPA compliant emissions level to be produced, which would show like a no defect, and there was no defect, so it would pass tests. That means that you could build a line of credit with your consumers, and that it would promote a good establishment, so it would create more business for your organization. Also, during normal operating hours of this vehicle, it would switch to road calibrations, which was vehicles being recognized in normal driving operations. The result would be that the system reduced increasing nitrogen oxide levels to 10 to 40 times above standards. That means that it caused a hazard to the population, which means that it put America's over its top pollutants, which would then cause harm and health conditions for the population, such as asthma, bronchitis, and emphysema. Now, with that being said, if you already have the asthma, bronchitis, or emphysema, it could double time and make your conditions even worse and speed up the process of your health or your living standard, which means that creates bigger lawsuits for the Volkswagen. Now, the Volkswagen was making revenue at a positive impact within the organization. Now it's a negative impact organization because now it faces lawsuits and it faces the recall of all these vehicles that have to be recalled back from all the customers, and it also decreases their credibility with their consumers because of this negative thing that they put in the vehicle to make it seem as if these vehicles were established and had credit of longevity. This also, it was recalled to 11 million vehicles in America, and it was over 50% more, which means it was at 2 million more vehicles in Europe, because it's not only is it in America, it's also in Europe. Now, the Europe number is much higher than the US number initially. Now, this scandal was benefiting the organization, as I said before, but now it has highlighted this industry and has put a bad name. It has made a bad name for itself. Now, with that being said, this means that America is doubling the amount of nitrogen oxide, and that the nitrogen oxide can cause the health problems. Now, the false reports that we're giving, which would make it visual for the eyes of the consumers, but then the internal functions would happen, which means that it would cause a hazard to all the drivers around that driver, which means that lives were put in danger, which means that Volkswagen ultimately has a bigger problem than they already had. With that being said, my name is Theophilus Bush II. Have a good day.